Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you've all had a fantastic weekend. Today we're going to be diving in and giving a short and sweet Vechain update video. There's a lot going on, there's a lot to unpack. We know Vechain have a major upgrade on the horizon, which we're going to cover in this video, or certainly go over it again. We have covered it in more detail and what the POA 2.0 actually means. Essentially, it's their consensus mechanism, the proof of authority consensus getting upgraded. Blockchain is going to become more scalable, more energy efficient, more secure, etc., etc. This is huge for Vechain. We're going to be diving into the price, of course, taking a little look at Bitcoin as well, showing you some very interesting charts as well. This is Vechain versus Ethereum. This is Vechain versus Bitcoin. And this is really two of the biggest indicators of why you should hold Vechain right now, because it is undervalued and due for a huge value appreciation in correlation with Ethereum and Bitcoin. So we're going to talk about that. Right now, there's a little bit of danger, ladies and gentlemen. I've been watching Vechain very, very closely. I would call this a head and shoulders. This could potentially be kind of correlated with what's going on at Bitcoin. Bitcoin does seem to be sort of doing some kind of a basing structure. I don't like these typical marginally higher highs and sort of higher lows. I like to see some kind of conviction, like we saw over here, for example, or in an uptrend. You know, we see kind of continuation structure. So I do think Bitcoin, I think the whole market, we're in a bull market, guys. Everything's going to continue to go up. Vechain, and we're going to touch on it in a second, is going to have its time to shine and actually overperform coins like Bitcoin and Ethereum, certainly the two that we're looking at today. We've done many other analogies against other coins, but we'll cover them in different videos. But right now, on the immediate time frame, guys, you do have a very nice head and shoulders setting up, and these will typically break to the downside. So this is your left shoulder, this of course is your head, and this is your right shoulder here, ladies and gentlemen. So I am watching this. I am somewhat thinking that this may play out, but really one takeaway that I want people to take away is, even if this does play out to the downside, which would give you, I'll draw a very, very rough target, guys. A downside target, if we do break this to the downside. Remember, lots of head and shoulders actually haven't been coming up to play. You could be looking at going back down to that 12 cents range, maybe even a little bit lower. If this plays out, it doesn't have to play out. Remember, there is a lot of bullish kind of sentiment maintaining and gripping the market right now. And on top of that, you know, Vechain has some major upgrades coming, and that's one thing I really want to touch on very, very quickly. And I'll give you reasons why to hold Vechain in just a second, because ultimately I'm expecting big things for Vechain. I'm still accumulating this altcoin because I believe it is going to go. You guys know we have price predictions of around about $1 to $1.50 for Vechain in kind of correlation with our Elliott wave theory. I think you are well on your way to new all-time highs. The POA 2.0 is a huge upgrade. You know, this is going to really enhance Vechain and what they can do, make them more scalable, secure, etc., etc. Quickly, I don't know how many of you saw CoinMarketCap's kind of deep dive on Vechain. It was actually very interesting and very well put together. I'm a fan of this deep dive. So this is really where we are, guys. You know, short term, there is a little bit of bearish signals, like this head and shoulders. You can see, though, that your RSI, certainly on the 4-hourly, kind of contradicts that, in the sense that it's you know, typically in your kind of sold range. But ultimately, I'm not worried. You know, there's volatility attack. You can see just how volatile Vechain is in regards to an asset. There is some promising things with this, and that is that this right shoulder, typically if I think a head and shoulders is going to play out, I'd like the right shoulder to be significantly weaker than the left shoulder. This kind of, you know, sets the direction before it even starts, because it shows a weakness to the upside. So we'll see how this plays out, but ultimately, even if it does play out, the volatility is just really to be ignored. Certainly when you understand Vechain from a longer time horizon, where we are today and how we're kind of holding structure beautifully and really setting up this fifth wave in the same way that we did our third and our first. And this is going to see major upside. We still think that you've got the majority of the bull market to come. This is a very interesting chart. This is Vechain versus Ethereum. And essentially you do have quite a few trend lines here. You can see this, of course, is a trend line. So what I'm going to do is shrink this down and really overextend this to just show you, you know, that there's a lot of room for growth here with Vechain, guys. This is just short and sweet and very rough, but ultimately you could be about to embark on a journey that sees something like this before then coming down. Your RSI, or sorry, your MACD is certainly pointing to that. Are you about to have that bullish cross on the MACD? It's absolutely possible, and then we see this kind of huge spike for the MACD in correlation with the price. You know, this is really, many people get very, very frustrated in regards to Vechain and how it's kind of, you know, we've got altcoins out there that are absolutely flying off the charts, if you will. But Vechain does this time and time again. It sets up structure before you get that continuation. And that's what you can see is very evident in this Vechain versus Ethereum chart. Its time to shine is coming. Very similar with the Bitcoin chart in relation to a kind of trend line. Very roughly drawn, by the way, guys. But you can see that this is apparent here. And this, of course, is going to take you certainly to new all-time highs for Vechain in relation with Bitcoin, but you can see you're setting up, you're kind of basing out here, you're forming this kind of double bottom structure ready for that impulsion, and then, you know, rinse and repeat. That's how these kind of structures tend to play out time and time again. So in comparison with Ethereum and Bitcoin, you know, you're really bottoming out and looking for that impulsion. This correlates with everything that we say in regards to Vechain, it being a typical laggard. The reason it's a laggard is because it's not on as many big public exchanges as I'm sure people would like it to, and this is why you see it kind of trickling into Vechain in regards to money. It doesn't really benefit from those retail pumps like many other coins down there, but the fundamentals for this project are fantastic. They're getting even stronger with this update or with this hard fork. So things are looking absolutely fantastic, guys. Still anticipating $1 Vechain. From where you are today, guys, let's do that very quickly. Around about that 15 cents mark. You know, that's a 500% gain, and that could happen in a very short period of time. Remember, if this fifth wave really is taking place like the third and the first, even the first wave, guys, was a 1,572% gain in a somewhat short period of time. And the third wave was even higher than that in a similar period of time. So this is what you're looking at, and you've just started that journey. Your fifth wave is typically going to be bigger than your first wave, but somewhere in between your first and your third. So things look good, guys. Things look really, really good. The partnerships for Vechain keep coming. You know, when you look at the Ethereum and the Bitcoin chart, they look absolutely fantastic, guys, in relation to Ethereum, or in comparison, with Vechain. So that's really all I have for you. The immediate time horizon doesn't look fantastic in regards to this head and shoulders, or this mini kind of head and shoulders that you've got setting up. But regardless, guys, you know, you've only got to look at Vechain's history. If it pulls back, it's really a buying opportunity. Certainly if we are on that fifth and potentially final wave of this bull run. So that is really all I have for you in the video. It was just a very short and sweet update. We've flown through everything. Huge upgrade coming. You know, things look good. Take a look at some of the charts, guys, and you will quite clearly see that, you know, Vechain's time to shine is coming, and it's going to do a lot in a little. That's what we're anticipating. I'm going to love and leave you on that note, guys. Just a short and sweet one. Hopefully you've all had a fantastic weekend. Remember, go and give me a follow on Twitter, and if you're not already subscribed to this channel, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you get notified whenever we have new videos out. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next YouTube video.